Arnold, and Obey.
Where is the 6?
Phonisha.
Phonisha!
Find the rest of
65. Yep.
Good work. Toot, toot, toot. Ready? Skunk's gonna do it. About, above, across, after, against.
We are now into our 3rd week. If you are new here, I am a homeschooling mom of 3 little ones, 5, 3, and 1, and I'm excited to give you a peek into our week, how we do our morning devotional time, what books we read, the games and activities we do to help us practice the classical memory work. I want to encourage you with this idea I've been thinking about that has greatly decreased my feelings of overwhelm. And make sure you stick around until the end. I'm going to show you how I prepare for the following week. So grab a cup of coffee or tea and join me as we peek into our week. Since day 1 of being a parent, I have felt so much overwhelm. I often feel like I just can't manage everything, and I can easily live in this constant state of stress, which kills my joy. I think we will always feel overwhelmed from time to time, but I strongly believe that God wants us to give that overwhelm to Him and to lean on Him and depend on Him and trust Him for our help and strength. I have also learned some mindset shifts and habits that have helped me not feel overwhelmed as often and have made our days go smoother. I just read the book The Lazy Genius Way by Kendra Adachi. I love her encouragement to ask yourself, what can I do now that will make life easier later? I ask myself that all the time now, and it really helps me, especially when I'm tired and just want to tune out. Right now, I'm preparing my kids' breakfast the night before. I make these muffins for my kids that they really like, and they have lots of healthy stuff in them. So it's easy for me to make a big batch of them, put them in the freezer, and then put a few on my kids' plates with some fruit and their multivitamin. Then I can just pull these out of the fridge in the morning, which saves so much time. I have found that my morning breakfast devotional time with my kids is gold, and I want to make the very most of that time. So it works well for our family to have breakfast out on the table when my kids wake up, so we can immediately start having our devotional time while they're eating. This probably won't matter as much when they get older, but while they are little and their attention spans are short, it works really well. Plus, it's one less thing I have to do in the morning, which is good for me. It definitely is something I can do now that makes things easier later.
Today we're going to talk about Adam. And who is Adam's wife? Do you remember? Eve. You guys remember the song? Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges, Ruth, 1st and 2nd, Samuel. Okay, Genesis 2:18. Then the Lord God said, "It is not good that the man should be alone. I will make a helper fit for him."
We are following along with the Foundations of the Bible Study by Driven by Grace. Her Bible study expands on the Classical Conversations Bible memory work. I start out reading from my Bible, and then I read from the Complete Children's Illustrated Bible. And this morning we are reading about Adam and Eve. I like reading from both Bibles to show my kids that they have the same content.
The Garden of Eden was a fertile oasis with plants, herbs, and fruit trees. Do you guys remember the song goes about the Fertile Crescent? Mesopotamia, Euphrates River, Tigris River, and Sumer. This is the Fertile Crescent. Sumer was that little red triangle. That's where the Garden of Eden was thought to be.
It was fun that the Bible study related to the Fertile Crescent, which we learned about during the first week. I also got these letter cards from Driven by Grace, and they are so fun because each letter is the beginning of an attribute of God.
Is it awesome? What kind of animal starts with A?
Alligator.
Alligator, good job.
Andy!
Ant? Antelope? Very good.
My older daughter is now coloring the activity from today's Bible study, and my younger daughter is tracing different kinds of lines with her dry erase marker.
Israel.
Israel, good job. Do you remember that sea?
Dead.
Dead Sea. Do you remember what it has a lot of in it?
Salt.
Salt. And do you remember what would happen if you go swimming in the Dead Sea?
You would float.
You would float on the water.
Today is Monday, and on Mondays our subject focus is geography. We play this dice game I made about the Hebrew Empire. I also put chocolate chips on each of the locations and see if my daughter remembers what they are. You can download this from my blog for free. I'll write in the description box below how to find it.
So where is the 6?
Phoenicia.
Phoenicia! Can we sing the song together real quick? Judah, Israel, Phoenicia. Judah, Israel, Phoenicia. Judah, Israel, Phoenicia. Hebrew Empire. Sea of Galilee, Jordan River, Dead Sea. Sea of Galilee, Jordan River, Dead Sea. Sea of Galilee, Jordan River, Dead Sea. Hebrew Empire. I'm gonna choose one to tell me what it is.
Phoenicia.
Okay, which one? You get to eat that one. Yeah.
I'll eat it at the end.
Okay.
Now, this one. This one is Dead Sea. And this one is Judah. Where's Judah?
Judah's the yellow one.
And this one is.
Hello, I'm a preposition. Prepositions. Prepositions aren't very big words, but they are very important words. Wow, you floated high above the city.
I am now reading one of our library books we got this week related to our memory work before quiet time in the afternoon. Today we are reading a book about prepositions called Prepositions Say Underwear by Michael Dahl.
Arnold and Obey.
We are in our second day now and going over Family Way number 3 this week with the corresponding Bible verse we are memorizing. I write one of the 24 Family Ways by Sally and Clay Clarkson and the Bible verse up on chalkboards in our kitchen so we can see them all the time. My daughter is now working on her math. We are using the Good and the Beautiful this year, which I am really loving so far.
12, 9:30. 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock. Good job. Tell me that one.
6 o'clock.
Absolutely.
Now that our morning time is done, I clean up the kitchen while my girls continue coloring and listen to our devotional songs. I have found songs that go with the Bible verses we memorize, and I also use the songs that go along with the foundations of the Bible study. This is another habit I have implemented, cleaning up after each meal. Sometimes it feels impossible to clean up in the midst of lots of needs and requests of my children. However, I try my best to clean up as much as I can after each meal so that for the next meal, I'm not feeling overwhelmed by all I have to clean up before even starting things. Again, I ask myself, what can I do now that will make things easier later? Cleaning up after each meal definitely does this. Our subject focus today is history, and my girls are now painting these Greek and Roman god sheets. One is the timeline page from Scribblers, and one is from Amy Snyder Design. They also color leaves I have made for our next history activity, where they will make laurel wreath crowns like the ancient Greeks did to remember their gods. I made these leaves the different leaf shapes we will learn more about in week 10. Since the crowns we are making need leaves, I thought, why not? I have this leaf template you can download for this week or week 10 up on my blog. I'll link below. The laurel wreath crown activity we did is from the Sandbox e-zine from CC Connected.
Ooh, Poseidon. Neptune, that's his name. I wonder what the rest of them is. Where's the rest of you, Poseidon?
Later that afternoon, when my younger daughter was napping, my older daughter and I put these Greek and Roman gods puzzles together. I have these for free on my blog too that you can download and use. It was a fun way to talk about these different gods as we put them together, and I played the Classical Conversations history song while we did it. We also talked about how these gods that the ancient Greeks worshipped are not the one true God that we worship.
Find the rest of her sister.
Cool. She has like a brown skirt. Oh, ooh. Maybe the rest of her brown skirt.
plus 2. 15, 16.
Good job. Very good. Any other capital B's?
Well, the 2s are colored.
Yeah, what about in your circles? Do you see any lowercase b's? Yep, where are they in the little circles around the band? Yeah, can you color that one?
It is now our third day, and my daughters are working on some math again. I got this little preschool book for my 3-year-old, and I call it Her Math. I want to make sure she feels included, even though she doesn't need to be doing any bookwork yet. She is doing really well with it, though, and I feel like it's a good level for her.
Yeah, that's an animal cell. So you're coloring the nucleus right now.
Our subject focus today is science, and we are learning about an animal cell. I made this color by number that my daughter is coloring, and then we do a little science experiment from CC Connected, where I put different random foods that we had into a Ziploc, and they represent different parts of the animal cell. I had pasta that represents mitochondria, cashews were Golgi bodies, gummies were vacuoles, a marshmallow was the nucleus, and then I had coconut oil in the bag that was the cytoplasm, and the seal of the Ziploc represented the cell membrane. My girls definitely got a kick out of mashing the things around.
Ooh, what were the cashews? The Golgi bodies. Yep. Where's the marshmallow? How many marshmallows do we have in there? One. It's just one nucleus. Good job. Now, I'll tell you this too. See the kind of white stuff that it's swimming in? That's called the cytoplasm.
We also enjoyed reading this book called Plant Cells vs. Animal Cells by Rebecca Woodbury. It was the perfect level for my kids and engaging and informative.
Nucleus, that was the marshmallow. DNA is a double strand of linked atoms. DNA makes a code that tells cells.
We are on our last day this week, and my daughter is skip counting the 5s. I made this activity where she traces the 5s, colors the ice creams different flavors, and then we cut them out and she puts them together in the right order and makes a really tall ice cream cone.
45, 50, 55, 60.
65.
Good job.
75.
65, 7. Yep. Good job.
Another habit I have implemented is doing the laundry daily. If I don't, I quickly get overwhelmed by it. I always load our washer with all the dirty clothes each night. Then in the morning, I add any other dirty clothes and run that load. When the kids are playing after our morning time, I put those clothes either in the dryer or hang them up. This has become such a habit that I don't even think about it anymore. I try to fold the clothes once they're dry and have my girls help me put away their clothes before dinner time if possible. It's so nice to have that done by the evening. Once again, I ask myself, what can I do now that will make things easier later? I also try to pick up before leaving a room, and I encourage my kids to do this too. It's not always possible, but I really try, because if I don't, our house quickly gets extremely messy, and that just really bothers me. I have always heard people say, just get used to your house being a wreck when you have little kids, and I know there is truth to that, but I also know myself, and it really stresses me out when things are not put away. So that is a priority to me, and I feel like a realistic expectation for my kids is that before we leave a room, we tidy it up for a few minutes. It's a simple habit and brings me so much peace. Cleaning up a room before we move on to another room definitely makes things easier later. We just went on a trip and I realized that I have no homemade snacks for my kids. I didn't really feel like making anything at the moment, but I thought again, what can I do now that will make things easier later? So I used the opportunity of my kids playing outside and my toddler entertained by some toys to make these peanut butter balls. They are so easy and such a healthy snack for my kids, and my kids never get tired of them. It's just 1 cup of drizzly peanut butter, 2 tablespoons coconut oil, which I actually forgot and they turned out fine, a little bit of maple syrup or honey, I usually put a tablespoon or 2, 2 cups of organic sprouted quick oats, 1/4 cup flaxseed, 1 tablespoon chia seeds, a pinch of salt, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, and 1/3 cup mini chocolate chips. I love that this is an easy snack to add healthy things to and a great source of protein.
Say, oh. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. That's another word. Toot. Ready? Skunk's gonna do it. About, above, across, after, against, along, amid, among, around.
Later that afternoon, we practiced our preposition song. My daughter thought it was so funny when I did the motions holding her stuffed animals.
Oh. Oh. Do you guys see an O? You see an O on there?
Yes.
Yeah, put a chocolate chip on there.
After this, we had a snack and played the Latin bingo game I made. My daughter had the fun idea of using chocolate chips as markers. This game has all the different Latin noun endings we are learning from weeks 3 through 12. It is a great way to practice the pronunciation with them. My kids really enjoyed it. You can download this game from my blog too for free. I'll link below in the description where to find it. Now it's the weekend and I want to take you through how I get ready for another week. First of all, I'm cleaning up my office space in the basement. I've done this in bits over the summer, but it really needs a good clean up and organization. I want everything to have a spot to go. I know this will bring me a lot of peace later, and again, doing this now will make things much easier for me later. One thing I do is put everything I want to keep from last year, things that my kids made, their certificates, the program from our end of the year ceremony, in a box. I might change this later, but for now this is a good place to keep these things together. I also have a little bin that I keep random things that I collected last year and don't really go anywhere else, but I could potentially use for a gift or a prize in my tutoring group, things that I don't want to get rid of yet. I don't like keeping things that I don't have a need for, but I have found with being a tutor, it's always good to have a stash of such things. I also reorganized my supplies bin. I decide to compile all the new crayons in one box. I get rid of a few old things and dried up paint and just reorganize it. This also helps remind me of what I do actually have. So here is what it looks like all cleaned up. This definitely brings me joy and will definitely make my life easier as we get further into our school year. Now I'm printing the materials that I will need for next week. I look at the activity set I made for week 4 and print off the activities that I haven't printed yet, like the skip counting activities, the plant cell color by number, the 7 wonders puzzles, and the Hittite Empire dice game. I've already prepared the Latin bingo game and the preposition memory cards, so I don't need to print those. I also go through the binder I prepared earlier this summer with the printouts from CC Connected that I want to use. I'll link below in the description a video I made describing how I organize this binder before the school year starts. I look at the scribblers, take a look in our story sheets to see if I want to do the history and science activities they recommend. I usually take these sheets out to reference at the very least. I also glance at the history and science activity ideas in the Sandbox e-zine. Some weeks I do these with my kids and some weeks not, it just depends. I always copy the history timeline coloring page from Scribblers that is part of our story and the science coloring page from Scribblers. Again, see the video linked below in the description for more info on how to find these pages. Then I copy the Foundations of the Bible activities that I want to do with my kids that week. I always copy 2 because my 3-year-old often wants to do the same thing as her older sister. Then I finalize my lesson plans for the week with the activities I plan to do. I have templates of these lesson plans that you can download if you desire. I also have a blank lesson plan template you can download too. I'll link those below. After this, I organize all of the papers I've copied and printed into daily folders. I have a folder for each day of the week. On Monday, I put geography-related things in the first Bible study activity. Tuesday, I leave blank for now because that is our community day. Wednesday, I put another Bible study activity page in our history activities. Thursday, I put our science activities in both the Bible study crossword and word search, so my daughter can choose which one she wants to do. And Friday, I put anything else, like our skip counting activities. Now I look in my file folder for week 4 and pull out anything else I need. I already printed and laminated these beautiful memory work cards that I get from Hope and Home Co. on Etsy. I love to put these on our wall in our kitchen for easy reference. I also get some other coloring pages that I purchased from Amy Snyder Design on Etsy. Next, I laminate the history timeline pages my daughter has colored these last few weeks. I like to laminate these and hang them up on our wall in our kitchen to make our own history timeline. Now that I have everything printed, I like to make sure the kitchen is cleaned up. Often I'll wash our tablecloth and placemats and give our kitchen a good clean and reset. That makes me feel fresh going into the week. Now I am erasing our chalkboard so I can put up our new family way and Bible verse that we are memorizing. These 24 family ways are from Sally and Clay Clarkson. They have a book with all of them and coloring pages. I love using them. They are rooted in biblical truth. And like I said before, I have made a chart that matches each of them with a corresponding Bible verse and song that helps my kids memorize the Bible verse. Then I lay things out on the table and prep for Monday. I get our 24 Family Way coloring books ready, the kids' math and language arts materials, my Monday folder and lesson plans, and anything else that I'll need for the week. I hope you enjoyed getting a peek into our homeschool week and seeing how I prepare for the following week. Thank you so much for joining me. If you are enjoying my videos, please subscribe to my channel. I am posting 2 videos per week related to homeschooling and healthy living. And also follow me on Instagram. I like to post what we do throughout the week as a family related to homeschooling. Thanks so much for watching.